Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're going to be covering the back nine of the Wilderness Tournament. And overall, pretty happy with the scorecard, minus 29. So we had, a few drops here on the back nine too to get to. Hey, this is probably it for me. My wife and I fly out of here early this afternoon down to Florida to catch our cruise. So I'm going to do the best that I can to scramble and play my rounds so that I get some of these balls back that I used, but I probably won't have time to, of course, save replays, edit, and post to YouTube. If I'm able to, then I will, but, it's probably very slim at this point. So I do wish you the best of luck this weekend. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and give me that thumbs up if you like the videos. Here we go. All right, this is the same thing. Hole number one. We're going to be playing the exact same approach as we did on the front nine. So there are your slider numbers. If you don't want to use the slider, then remember you can play at 10% elevation at mid. You'll just need a little bit of a slight offset on the right-hand side of the cup, and you should be okay. But if you're going to use a slider and you want to learn more about the slider, maybe I'll make a separate video on that in the upcoming weeks. And, this will help you be a lot more accurate. But here we go. Really, like I said, same thing. Thor's hammer. We're going to go with quite a bit of top spin here. We're going to go 2 bars of side spin to the left. And we're going to go with, about 6.5 bars of top spin. Somewhere very close to that. Here, when you see me move my target around, you see I settle really quickly. I'm just trying to find where it has those bounces like that. Sometimes it's glitchy, and you can experience a big rollout or a small rollout. There's just a certain part of the fairway that I'm looking for. I know where it's at, so if you can try to just copy my landing position there, you should get a similar rollout to me. And what we're looking to do is get our drive just like this, preferably in the 330s. I got it right at 330, so good to go. So 330. Here, if you notice, that's going to be 5 yards less than the 335, which means I need to pull this at 10%, 10 more percent than the 58. So we'll be pulling this shot here at a 68% slider. We're always going 5 top. We're always going with 3 bars of side spin to the left, just like that. Here, again, I don't care where my white ring is, my blue ring is. I just want that ball guideline going through the center of the pin. Just like that. And then I make that pull. As long as we hit perfect, this ball should go in the hole as long as our slider numbers are correct. And as you see here, again, we are sneaking it into the left-hand side of the cup. Let's take shot number 2. Shot number 2, I have my graphic up here. Well, really my Golf Clash notebook app. You'll see here that I'm just really messing around with trying to get the wind low. And here I'm playing this one 0% at max. 0% at max. 2 bars of side spin to the right. This is a little bit more than 2 back, or than can't talk today, I'm tired. This is a little bit more than 3 back. So see this like 3.2, 3.3, something like that. 2 bars of side spin to the right. This time instead of playing low, we're playing super high. The reason we have to play high is because that wind push, that tailwind, is pushing us harder than you think. And also take a note here at my offset. Notice here I'm aiming short, but I'm also aiming to the left-hand side of the pin. This one's a little bit weird because the wind is pushing us to the left as well. I don't get this ball in the hole, but this is as close as I got. So maybe you can take the shot that is as close as I got and you can tweak it, which I know a lot of you are really good at. You put it in the comments, and in a way, you're helping a lot of other people out too who go in here and read the comments. Especially if the video has been out for a while, it gives the people, a lot of time to reply on what's working for them. Hole number 3, unfortunately, no albatross this time. So, we have to take the eagle on 1. And then the birdie eagle. So starting off -5, though, through the first 3 holes. Nothing wrong with that. 1 bar of side spin to the right. I'm playing this one with no top spin, no back spin. This one is, again, being pulled 10% at max. Really nothing special here on the drive. We leave some yards, but it's okay. You know, I might add half a bar of topspin to that just to make shot number 2 easier. Oh, but you know what? Never mind. Wrong talking. You don't need to do that because we're getting tailwind here. On the tailwind, we're able to really check how many yards of overpower we need. You see that little red line that comes into my rings whenever I'm pushing up. That right there is going to tell me how many rings I need to push back up before I take this shot. So really, it was about 3.5 rings I need to push back up, which I'm not even able to do. It puts me back to max. So if anything, I should have actually took a little bit of topspin off this shot. But as you can see here, we're able to hit a perfect ball. We don't have to use any overpower. Again, me pushing back up to max, I'm going to go past the hole. So I should have took a little bit of topspin off. But really, that's getting super, super technical, in which we try to drop an albatross, which is very hard to get. Most of us, including myself, will be happy just to land very safely right there for the eagle putt. Hole number 4, I'm going to show you 2 different things going on here. One with the Titan. You can take this shot with the Titan, and this one I am going back to try to find the funnel. Red ring up here by the sand, that's where we want to try to keep it when we wiggle around. But I'm going to zoom in here once I think I find the spot to show you. And look at the shot clock. We're getting very close. If you can see where the end of the ball guideline is pointing, that's my baseline. And then we make our pull here. It's okay. You know, there's a nice little funnel on this hole. There's a nice little sticky spot on this hole. And that's all we're trying to find. But here you're going to see we come in super close to dropping it. The only thing that stinks about this is I was really rushed for time, and I could not find exactly the spot that I was looking for, 20% at max. So here, you know, I use a Kingmaker, and the thing about me using a Kingmaker this time is I'm getting the same wind as I got with the Titan ball, all right? So a better ball, but same wind. That's just kind of the wind variance in the game. But that's good news because I knew with 6 miles an hour, I knew exactly where I missed at, right? So with 6.1, you know, again, I got to try to wiggle around here to find the spot that I'm looking for. But with almost identical wind, at least it gives me an idea of faster where to set up. You can see where I set up here. And this time, again, I'm up against the shot clock. I'm going to push my rings as fast as I can. I'm trying to push this one 7.4 if I remember correctly. And look at this. I have to stop my needle moving from left to right, which I'm not good at all. But there's no way I could have let it swing around again. And this time, we do get this ball to drop dead center for a hole-in-one. So that gives you a couple different looks at it. It just shows you can use a couple different balls. You know, but obviously, I didn't want the 7-mile-per-hour wind. I wanted to knock it down with the Kingmaker, and you're good to go. So, you know, anything works here. Quasar, Titan, Kingmaker, you know, really anything with that 2 bars of side spin is all we need. And you can just kind of gauge the wind whenever you go. Here, I'm going to show you 2 different ways on hole number 5. The first way did not work for me, but I know a lot of people watching me have powerful clubs, you know, like even maybe an APOC, you know, 8, a maxed out Thor's hammer. You know, I don't know if you can make it this way, but you would probably need a power 5, wind 5 ball would be best. You'd really want to reduce this wind as much as possible, of course. Here, you're going to see I clip the sand that I roll out. Leaves me for shot number 2. And I'm only showing you this just in case you try to take the same approach as me. But I do eagle this hole on the next replay that I'll show you. So here you see my setup with my spin. There's a part on the fairway there where it makes your ball guideline more consistent and it kicks down towards the hole. Perfect ball. And you'll see here, we do come close to sneaking this one in for an eagle. Very, very close. Easy to tweak to try to get that one in the hole. But here's how we should play it. We should just play it with our rock. No moving target, 2 back, 3 bars of side spin to the right. Now, you might be wondering, why am I using backspin in direct headwind? It's because you have to remember, on this hole, we want to make sure that we're taking shot number 2 with our horizon or your sniper, whatever you're comfortable with. For me, I'm really liking to start the horizon because of the power and because of how few rings you have to pull between minimum, medium, and max. The numbers are very low, so to me, it gives me a little bit more wiggle room for a mistake. I feel that way. Maybe it's just mental, but we don't need a lot of yards on this drive. That's what I'm trying to say, because you're going to see that I barely got it right. You see here, I go from the Goliath to the horizon, and that puts us at minimum distance here. Minimum distance, 20% elevation at minimum. And sorry if you hear the coffee maker going in the background. All right, take a look at the offset position here. This is very lucky. I got one chance at this hole, but I know that I've missed it in rounds past, and I missed it to the left. Take a look at the spin. Take a look at the offset. This was just a wild guess to try to get this ball close to the hole, but I actually got this ball into the hole, which I was very surprised on. Not a hole I normally pick up an eagle on from the top. But look at that. I mean, that's dead center, and it went in. So just take a look at the offset. Take a look at the spin adjustments. Remember, do not push that drive hard, because you want to make sure that you're in range to take that shot. All right, this is hole number 6. Hole number 6 has been a tough one for me. I mean, I do eagle it on both accounts this time, but, you know, I just can't get close to the albatross on it. Kind of drive me crazy. Nothing special to see here. You see the spin. You see the setup. White ring at the rough. Second bounce in the rough there. But, of course, we're just going to be swinging this with full curl, a little bit of OP, perfect ball, and we drive this one down the fairway. Looks pretty good. Again, the reason that I don't push out with more topspin is because I don't want to go too far down the fairway and get stuck behind that big old tree. All right, which I'm almost at anyways, even with only 3 bars of topspin. Here, 25% at mid is how I would play it. But, you know, here with the wind blowing from left to right, it means that we're going to have to pull our rings to the left, which means we're going to end up pulling into the tree. If you land on the same part of the fairway that I did, as you can see right there, the tree gets in my way. I'm not messing around with that tree. I push my target back over. So this is not a correct pull. I gave up a few decimals on it, so I tried to fix it with curl. But here, again, you know, we get close enough to the eagle, and maybe a few of you will get lucky and drop that albatross. Hole number 7, this one's driving me crazy on pro. I just cannot seem to make shot number 2, no matter what I do. 6 top, 3 bars of side spin to the right. 10% pull at max. Putting that yellow ring right there, just in that corner pocket of the fairway at the top. You see here, I'm just curling until the left side of my ball is covering the inner part of the wall, the adjustment window there. Perfect ball. Let's rewind. Oh, shoot. Let's rewind that for a second so that you see. You don't want to use overpower. Okay, don't accidentally use overpower, because look at this. Not a lot of room there. It's always that way, but in that wind angle, be very, very careful. All right, this is going to be shot number 2, 25% at max. Somewhere between 1 and 2 bars of backspin. I'm going to pull it at max, because when I go to pull my rings here, I'm at max anyways. But perfect ball. I'm trying to speed up because I got to actually get to work. I have to work 2 hours today, believe it or not. Look at that. Very, very close. I keep burning the edge. And this is like hole number 1 where a slider would really come into play. But, you know, with this one, it's not going to be really about yards on the drive, because the drive is going to be really sporadic. It's going to be more about trying to do, you know, like a plus yard check on your club. And that's something that I've been trying to learn on my own, like during my downtime, like plus yards and, you know, things like pin checks and rough checks and yada, yada, yada. I've been working with some good people who've been trying to teach me that. So hopefully that's going to be the next evolution of my game. If you've noticed, my pro scores are getting better and better I think I've got, first, second, and third in the last 3 tournaments. So I'm really starting to try to learn a lot more nuances of the game as I start getting myself ready for expert tournaments again, because it's been a long time since I played them. Okay, here we're going to use a Power 1 ball, and I'm going to show you 2 replays because this one's pretty annoying. I thought that I had this one figured out, but I'm going to show you 2 ways. I'm going to show you missing to the left of the pin, and I'm going to show you missing to the right of the pin. And it's just going to be up to you to figure out how do you get this one in the hole for a hole-in-one. It shouldn't be that hard. The wind is low. It's only 5.7 with the navigator. Here, I apply my spin, and I'm just wiggling around. You're going to see here my first landing spot. Take a look at the dark green and the light green vertical rows. See how I'm kind of favoring ever so slightly the dark green row, the one closer to the hole? I'm just barely inside that vertical dark green row. You can see it really good right there. All right. So here we make our pool. Yep. 25% at max. Perfect ball. Come on now. Look at this. And zoom in, and we just barely missed to the left-hand side. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Let's try to be greedy, and let's try to get a negative 30. To get a negative 30, I need to drop this shot right here. So let's go ahead and bust out the Zeus ball, just for fun. Hey, I missed it to the left-hand side, so why don't I just do the exact same spin, but this time, why don't I play right down the seam of the dark green and the light green row, just like that, all right? Should get less of a wind push too, right? With the wind 5 ball, only 4.1 mile per hour wind, so I definitely shouldn't miss this one to the left. But instead, we'll go ahead and just miss it to the right this time. So how annoying is that? Look at that. Basically the same shot, but missed on either side of the cup. So we're very, very close. Maybe you can make some minor tweaks and get that one to drop in the hole. Hole number 9, very, very close. I do feel like a lot of you are going to albatross this hole. Just because on both my accounts, I made the tweaks necessary, and I'm right at the pin now. Which means if I'm right at the pin and you can copy what I do but make one small tweak, you're going to get this one in the hole. Here, 3 top, 3 left, full curl to the left. Again, be very, very careful with your overpower. You don't accidentally want to roll too far up here into the rough. As you can see, we're not close at all, but, don't use too much top, don't use too much more. We're good here at a 0% shot at max. Now, look at this. All we're going to do is put our target right here at the +6 yard mark. We settle on that one because we need to push our rings because of the headwind. So we want to make sure we have room to do that. We're going to start off with 3 bars of side spin to the right. And then all I want you to do is start to apply your top spin until your ball guide line looks like that. Now you see how the edge of my ball guide line is touching the right edge of the cup? I need you to be just a little bit more right. So we need to offset this one a fraction more to the right. It's easier to push your rings instead of pull with this wind angle. Notice there when I start at the +6 yard mark, I do not push into overpower, which is very important on this hole. Perfect ball. And I really thought that I had this one. I was like, oh, I'm going to get it. Well, boy, look at that. I mean, we left a lot of shots on the back 9 right at the cup. Hey, I hope you found it helpful. Keep in mind, probably nothing coming from me this weekend. And then obviously I'll be completely out of touch next week. So hopefully there's no tournaments. I don't want to miss anything. But if I do, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much and have a great day.